and get it.
Well, here we are, people, the end of the year, and 2016 hasn't been the best year. We've had a lot of ups and downs. I mean, Donald Trump became president, a bunch of celebrities died, and we lost a very dear person, a very dear friend. Rest in peace, Harambe. But crazy presidents and dead gorillas aside, we're here to talk about games. More specifically, though, the top 5 best games of 2016 in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. I'd like to see what your list is. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Number 5. Forza Horizon 3. Now, I like cars. I think cars are cool. I also like racing games. I think racing games are cool, and I think the best racing game out of all of them is Forza Horizon. Or just Forza in general, I guess, but I kind of prefer the Horizon series. I tried the Forza Motorsport series. They're okay, but I love the Horizon series. I think the Horizon series is just fantastic and great. I think Horizon 3 is really good racing game, but of course it does have its problems, which is why it's really down low. At number 5, the fact that it doesn't really bring much new to the table. I mean, yeah, you're the boss of Horizon this year, and you can make your own events, but there just isn't as much new compared to Horizon 2. I mean, there's a complete lack of VWs in the game, if you care about that stuff, which, for me, I found that very disappointing, and I just didn't like it, but I still think it's a good game. And if you've never played a racing game, or you may think, hey, this game looks pretty good. You want to be an idol, say, hey, that looks pretty good. Then I highly recommend you pick this game up. It's a really solid racing game. They've redone a lot of it. Like, it sounds good. The sounds in it are really good. There's a few new things. It does have some really annoying things. How Anna always appears up and it's like, oh, you have X event 1 to go to. Would you like me to set a route? And I'm like, no, I will do it in my own time. But yeah, I think Horizon is pretty good. And if you've never played a racing game, I mean, you could start with this. You don't need to have played any of the other games because they all follow a different story. But I think it's good, this one. But let's move on to number 4. Transport Fever. Now, when I was younger, my mum had a computer, and I'd play on it all the time. I didn't have many games, but one of the games that I remember fondly was Transport Giants. I've sunk thousands of hours into that game, far more than I can count, and I have a lot of fond memories of playing that game. And then, I grew up and I kind of stopped playing the transport games, but recently, Transport Fever poked my interest. I was like, oh, man, that reminds me of Transport Giants, and this game looks pretty good. I remember liking that game. So I picked it up, and I thought, let's see if I'm still good. Now, the game itself is rather difficult, and you could tell what the answer is, whether I like the game or not, because it's on this list, but I like this game. I think this game is very good. It's got a very sort of steep learning curve. It takes about 8-9 attempts before you have a semi-decent one. Before you have a semi-decent world, that is. And I just really like it, it reminds me of being a kid again, and I sunk loads of hours into Transport Giants, and now I can sink it into Transport Fever. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh well, let's move on to number 3, Stardew Valley. Now, a lot of people say Stardew Valley is the next Harvest Moon. I wouldn't know. I've never played Harvest Moon. Please don't send your hate at me. I'd greatly appreciate that. But what I have played is Stardew Valley, and I've played quite a lot of it, And oh boy, never has a game had me so addicted than Stardew Valley. I don't know what it is or why, but I just can't stop playing. I think it's really, really good. And it's one of those games where you're just playing and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna play for 5 more minutes, just 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, 4 days have gone past and you've got an impressive beard, and you're just like, oh, 4 days have gone past, why not make it 5? And you still keep playing. But not only have they made like an addicting game, but they've also like made all the people in the town have personalities. I mean, I like them. You know, they're all quite unique, all you know, really good. Be like all unique, not like all generic person A, generic person B. They're all great, apart from Shane, but we don't talk about him. But you know, I've played the game for many hours, more than I'd like to admit. I mean, I played it for 3 days straight the other week. Do I have a problem? Maybe. But let's move on to number 2. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, Xenoverse 1 was a game that I really enjoyed and sunk quite a few hours into, but it had a lot of problems with it. So many, in fact, that I could make a top 100 problems with Xenoverse 1. I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to spare you from that. But Xenoverse 2 luckily fixes a lot of the problems that plagued the first one. I mean, there are just so many new and good things that added to this game that make it better than the first one. You know, you've got better hit detection, you've got unlimited timer so you can fight for as long as you want. You know, more like Super Saiyan is not overpowered as it used to be. There are just so many good things about this game that make it a lot better than the first one, and I'm just so thankful for it. It's a really good, really enjoyable fighting game. I really like it. The moral customization options for your character it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, like if you're a fan of the Dragon Ball games, or you liked Xenoverse 1, I'd recommend you pick it up and give it a go for yourself. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the bit you guys were all waiting for, and that bit is number 1. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yeah, how many people saw this coming? I didn't. I mean, I did because I recorded the video, but that's beside the point. Sun and Moon, I'm not gonna lie, I really had low expectations for them after the disaster that was Pokemon Go. And after seeing the first few trailers, I thought, oh, these games, they just look like normal Pokemon games. I'm still going to play them, but they're just going to be normal. So I was super surprised when these games were just so good. They're not just the best games in the Pokemon franchise. They're one of the best games I've ever played. I had so much fun playing the game, and I love it. And it's done something that no other Pokemon game has ever done, and that's made me like get involved in the characters. I loved all the characters in the series. I liked Lily and Guzma and Gladian and the Professor. They're all just such good and likable characters. I just enjoyed every moment of playing Sun and Moon, and I loved every moment of playing it, and I was really quite sad when I finished it, but I can go through the game again. They did so much right with the game. The soundtrack is spot on. They changed up the formula. No longer will you go and battle gym leaders. You now do trials and battle kahunas. And I love that. I just love everything about it. And like, Nintendo's changing the game. That's such a good thing. Nintendo never does that, and that's why it was such a surprise to see them do it. I'm just so happy with Sun and Moon, and it feels like Sun and Moon have heart. You know, they made likable characters, a fun game that I will definitely be replaying again and again. And that is why Pokemon Sun and Moon is my number 1 game for 2016. Anyways guys, that does it for the top 5 games of 2016. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I put a lot of hard work into this. If you're interested in buying any of the games, I've left a link in the description for you guys to go and buy them. And if you disagree with me, let me know what your top 5 games are in the comment section below. I'd really like to read what you guys enjoyed playing. But that's it from me. And I've really enjoyed making this video. It was a lot of fun. But I will see you guys next year for whatever it may bring. So until then, this is Red Wasp Gaming signing out. See you guys next time.